Another one.
Mitch asks, what is the degree you need to be in QA? Why get a degree when you said salary is 50 to 70K? Why not just do a boot camp? I really want to know. I would do a boot camp and do courses if it was me. All right, that is actually one of the best questions that someone has ever asked, Mitch. Shout out to my guy, Mitch, to my best friend. You know what? I might even play my best friend song, all right? But not right now. Not right now, right? So let's start the timer. That's a great question, though. Great question, Mitch. So, what degree you need to be in QA? Typically, you will find the younger entry level type people who are in QA. They might actually have a computer science degree, to be honest with you, and then they might move up from there. They might become a developer. I don't know. They might not stay in QA for their entire career. That is one degree. That's probably like your fastest way into QA because when you're getting interns like for QA and stuff like that, they're probably studying some type of technology in college. It might not be computer science per se, but it might be like information systems. But the reason that I say you like a salary of 50 to 75 is that would be like an entry level salary. See, the problem is a lot of people, they end up waiting a lot later into their life before they try to transition into the tech field, where starting off in your first role coming out of college for like a QA role, 50 to 70K is not that bad. But if you're like in your mid 30s, early 40s, 50 to 70K might not sound too good, especially if you were making more money somewhere else, but you're stuck at a ceiling. So that's the issue. Now you say, why not just do a boot camp? Because honestly, companies don't really respect boot camps like that. Especially like when there is a shortage of workers, then companies will take whatever they can get. They'll take self learners. They'll take people who graduated boot camps, people who can just like do enough. But when it's a guess would it be the buyer's market or the seller's market? When it's the seller's market, I guess if the person looking for a job is the buyer and the employer is the seller, when it's a seller's market, they can be more picky. And if you notice, Mitch, have you ever seen a job posting that says like they want a bootcamp education or a self-learned education? Till this day, they still say bachelor's degree and experience. Now, they are willing to sacrifice on those requirements if needed. And a lot of times they'll even value experience more than they'll value the degree. Like they'll say, or X amount of years of experience. But, Mitch, they still have that on their job description. Even if they don't honor it, they still have it on their job description. They're not going to lower the standards, because now if they lower the standards, now everybody and anybody can come in. They're still keeping the barrier to entry higher, and then they'll reach down outside of the barrier of entry and pull some people up if they need to, but they don't want it to set that as a standard. And a lot of people who go to boot camps and stuff like that, they don't have the experience for those positions, and that's honestly what happened. So you could do a boot camp, but is it like the schooling does not land you the job, right? It's everything being combined together, but having a degree, like, because I know somebody that I was coaching, they had a degree in marketing, I believe, but they had a degree, and they were working, and then they were able to transition into their role. They did like web development, UI, UX, and stuff like that, and then they went into QA. Somebody else that I know, they were an English teacher for like middle school or something like that, right? And when I was communicating with them, they said that one of the offers that they got was less than they were making as a English teacher, right? And that they couldn't afford to take that role. And then the role that they actually ended up taking, they were the second choice, and now they're thriving in the role. But companies are always going to value experience over anything else. So that's why I said like the starting salary. I said the start. Keep in mind. I said I didn't say the salary is 50 to 70K. I said the starting salary is 50 to 70K. You will grow exponentially, right? But like a lot of times the entryway is going to be 50 to 70K depending on where you live. If you live in like a California or New York, it might be closer to 70. If you live in like the middle of the country, it might be closer to 50 to 60, right? But it's low. And now and that's for like very, very basic QA, maybe some automation involved. But as you get more in depth in like domain knowledge, able to build up your critical thinking skills, able to do automation, then you're just going to like, it's going to increase exponentially. But starting off when you don't know anything, how can you expect that, like bootcamp or not, how can you expect them to pay you 100K if you don't know anything, right? That would be crazy. Like that would be negligence and malpractice by the company to pay you that much when you don't know anything, right? So that's why I can bootcamps work, kinda, but I think that the way that they market it, if you have it's a game of numbers. If you have like 100 or I say 1,000 people taking some bootcamp course, but one of them actually gets hired, and now they're going to be promoting that this one person got hired. And what about the 999 who did the same bootcamp, did the same work, but they're not even getting like response. They're not even getting rejection emails, right? They're not even getting automated rejection emails. So that's my strategy, right? I'm like, yeah, I think even if you're going to college and getting a degree, I think it's still helpful to do a boot camp or take a course on like QA if you want to go into QA, web development if you want to go into web development, software development, whatever, because it's like pairing that knowledge with you. But because, like I said, I don't think college really prepares you to work in the first place, but it gets rid of one of those check boxes. It checks off one of those boxes. So yeah, that's my thoughts about it. Hopefully that makes sense.
They say they want success, but they don't put in the time. Promises unkept, all this wasted energy's a crime. People with their eyes wide shut, just playing their part. But when it comes to commitment, they ain't got the heart. Tell me what's the point of dreaming big if you don't try? Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line? Keep on waiting, 'cause it's your time to shine. Don't let the darkness cloud the path that you own. If you want success, then you gotta make it home. I see the potential in them, but they don't understand. Only chasing shadows, never stepping on the land. Words are just reflections, but actions tell the tale. When you want the prize, you gotta break the veil. Success is a road, but oh, it ain't a free ride. Why don't you wake up, get your dreams in line? You can't keep on waiting, 'cause it's your time to shine. Don't let the darkness cloud the to rise. Don't let your spirit die, reach for the skies. Don't let the thought die, reach for the skies.